So today finally I'm gonna put my hands and legs over the new 2024 Yamaha Tracer 9 GT Plus. Yes, this is the GT Plus version, so it's the most updated version with the new features, the new TFT screen, active cruise control, so it has a radar at the front. The brakes now just combined and different color. Basically everything else remains the same as from the previous model. So we have it the same engine, 890 CP3, beautiful Yamaha engine with 119 brake horsepower and 19 Newton meters of torque. It's this lovely engine, probably one of my favorite engines as a triple. So this bike is a sport tourer bike. As you can see, Yamaha only changed in GT Plus, only small plus they added, like, you know, different color. Probably the screen is the major update for this motorcycle, because the standard GT has that two small screens, which sometimes the number display on information display on those two screens are small. So that's the major update, and plus the active radar and active cruise control. That's the most important feature. If I'm not mistaken, that could be also different quick shifter for GT Plus, but I will have to check it. Otherwise, power, ergonomics, everything is the same. So let me start this motorcycle. And also GT Plus has slightly different controllers. It's the new joystick over here, clutch lever not adjustable, we have only adjusted brake lever. So as we can see, beautiful color TFT screen with all information. We're gonna start. This bike starts without the clutch. Lovely. We're already in a sport mode. We take the screen up, we have a look how this bike perform. The ergonomics are exactly the same as previous Tracer 9 and 9 GT. Obviously, being a GT and GT Plus bike comes as standard with the two side panniers, plastic panniers, which they will fit your full face helmet. At the moment we are in sport mode. The throttle is very responsive. Quick shifter nice and smooth, and straight away we find out there is no self-cancelled indicators, so you have to remember to do them manually. Nice straight up upper body position. However, your legs slightly bend in your knees, so that's kind of not sporty but quite sporty position. I'm 181 centimeters tall and I can fully flatten my foot on the ground. 181 centimeters with 32 inches in seam in my legs. Changing gears with the gearbox, nice and smooth gearbox. I never had any complaints about the Yamaha gearboxes or engines. They're very nice. CP2, CP3, lovely engines. So 119 brake horsepower, 93 Newton meters of torque. That gives you plenty power for the road, for touring, because this bike is a sport tourer which has 130 millimeters front fork travel and 137 or 139 rear shock travel. So it's not the adventure quite tall suspension travels, but For nice planted roads, that should be enough. This bike has front active suspension, Showa forks, so they adaptive to your riding style. Also they change depend on what mode you use. So now I'm in the sport mode. With that click of button you change the modes. So with the sport would be more stiffer, more planted. With the road mode will be probably more flush. We'll check that when we come off from motorway. Screen is in the highest position. It's a bit windy today, but I can feel wind on my shoulders, and I can see the screen is moving. It's very teeny tiny plastic, so a bit flimsy. Oh, I tell you, this engine is a lovely engine, very torquey. It's slightly buffeting around top of my helmet, so and we just only on the motorway with 100 kilometers, so loads of buffeting over here. So standard screen is not that great. Sitting position, like I said, very nice. However, I can feel that the profile of the seat push me slightly forward. It's not, the seat is not flat, it's kind of bent towards the front. So I'm just kind of leaning or just sitting with my balls on the tank. Slightly buzzing on my pegs. The engine is very, very lively. Also the rear brake kind of weak. Get used to that. Most of bikes which I rode, they had the Brembo, so this one has a Nissin. Bit spongy. Front brake, it's actually okay. The rear brake is actually a bit weak for my taste. Also the brake hoses, they're just rubber hoses. They don't have a, like, you know, metal split around the hose. So maybe if you change the brakes to the brake hoses to the better steel braided brakes hoses, maybe that will change something, or maybe not. Mirrors, fine. I can clearly see everything behind me. This screen is a game changer actually. The Tracer should come off as a standard with any version with that kind of screen. You can clearly see everything, like, you know, your speed, your revs counter, your gears, all the information display about the odometer, fuel, everything is there. Also this has the Bluetooth connectivity, so you can connect your phone, and you should have display the navigation on the screen, which is a great feature. I like the new redesign left hand buttons with the joystick. The previous Tracer and actually current 9GT has a bit different. Let we lower down, we'll see in the city condition. So manual changing gears is nice and light. I don't see any problem. The gearbox is very, very smooth, and the engine is just, like I said, one of my favorite 3 cylinders engine. Also, what I find out, I'm wearing motorcycle shoes, motorcycle boots, size 44, and when I move my left foot back on the pegs, my foot is catching the central stand all the time. It's a bit annoying. All the time, I show you when I stop what I mean. It's just sitting all the time on that central stand. The sound of that engine is just amazing. Like for the city cruiser, moving from places A to B, nice lovely position. I don't know how long I will last with that leg position. Definitely it is a kind of sportier position compared to touring bikes, but it's not that ridiculous sporty as with the sport bikes. Yeah, front brake is actually fine, nice, but the rear one is just a bit spongy, bit weak. So see what I mean? This part, when I move my foot, all the time I'm catching. So yeah. Over here we have a USB port, USB-A. We change maybe mode to Rain Row Street. So straight away the throttle is not that quick and responsive, but that will give you also the suspension more plush feeling. Yeah, turning circle, it's very nice. Even with the stock exhaust, which is under the bike, standard big can, the sound same like on the MT-09. Very nice, very barking, grinding sound. It has juice, it has a power, it has a torque. Definitely, I wouldn't tell anyone that this bike lack of power or Newton meters. You can move quickly around the places. So let me see. 50 kilometers. We are in the street mode. The throttle is nice. It's not that snatchy at all. Very, very nice. So as standard, GT and GT Plus comes also with heated grips, and I tell you, those heated grips are very, very warm. For example, move to the Triumph bikes. There's only 3 heating positions on the Triumph bikes. Over here I think so you have a 10, and if you go above 6 or 7 position, it's so hot that you can't hold the grips. Very, very hard, very, very efficient. And also for my taste, this clutch lever is too high. It's great alternative to the MT-09. If you want to have a more bigger bike, now that the rear brake is very, very weak actually. It bites, but you have to support yourself also with the front one. So what I'm said, if you want to have an alternative to the sport naked bike, which is MT-09, and still want to have that CP3 engine, lovely lively engine, but ride with a bit more comfort, also be able to take to passenger, Tracer 9 GT or GT Plus. It's a lovely alternative if you're looking for that bike with that engine. So let we try to change mode on the fly. Sport, throttle off, and we in sport mode, and straight away the throttle is, as you can see, straight away you can feel different response from the throttle. Very lively bike, very lively. This bike feels, for its size, very, very nimble. And if I remember, fully loaded with all fluids, it has, I think so, 220 kilos. The tank is 18.7 liters, so at the moment shows me 5.4 liters of consumption. For the nice good roads, the suspension feels nice, but still, even with the street mode and sport mode, they're quite a bit firm, quite sporty. So this will tells me, if you have a plan, take this bike on the quite poor quality roads. The 130 millimeters of suspension travel may be not enough, plus the setup is quite sporty, quite firm. But for the street using, nice feeling. You can feel the front, and when you sit and start riding this motorcycle, it's very easy. You very quickly feel home. There's nothing complicated. Very thing is easy to read, easy to find out. Yeah, I slightly don't like that seat profile, because push me all the time. I'm sitting with my balls on the tank. Like I said, this seat is not flat. It just doesn't matter what position I try to find out, it's just pushing me towards the tank. Also the seats looks nice, cushy and padded, but a bit hard, so don't know how this seat is gonna feel after a couple hours of riding, a couple hundred kilometers. Nicely shaped tank, your legs go inside, you can grab with your inside of the legs the tank, you have better feeling of the bike and really push it, really riding hard and sporty with this bike, which this engine encourages you to that kind of sport, fast riding. So now with the question, is the GT Plus worth to pay slightly over the normal GT9? Definitely the screen is just a major difference compared to the standard 9 GT. Active cruise control, I wouldn't be fancy unless you do loads of motorway miles, so maybe then it will be handy. But the screen, yes, but don't know. The difference is 2,000 euros, something like that. So it's a big jump between the standard 9 GT and GT Plus. The rest stays same, no different. Also wonder when Yamaha plans update that Tracer 9 platform. There have been some rumors that maybe next year, or maybe at the end of this year at the EICMA show, we'll see different, completely redesigned Tracer 9. So all we have to do is just wait and see what happens. So what will be the competition to this bike? First one probably Triumph Tiger 9 GT Pro, which has as well 900-ish 3-cylinder engine, slightly less power, less torque, doesn't have a semi-active suspension on the front, but you have electronically adjusted preload at the back, With this one doesn't have, you have a manually adjusted preload at the back. The next one, probably Multistrada, Ducati Multistrada V2S. Next bike which comes to my mind, Suzuki V-Strom 850, maybe 1050 as well. Those V-Stroms with the small 19-inch front wheel. Because this one, 9GT and 9GT Plus, comes on 17-inch front aluminium cast wheels front and back. The Tiger 900 GT Pro, it comes with the 19-inch front wheel. And maybe to some extent I will put as well into this category maybe Suzuki GSX 1000 GX, which is kind of crossover, but that will be like, you know, more over the top because it has a 1-liter engine, so doesn't really fit into this category. But if I'll be on the market for the sport tour, I probably would consider this bike as well. So bike as standard comes with all LED lights, LED indicators, cornering lights. It goes nice around the bends. That's why this is a sport tourer. You can ride this bike quite nicely and aggressive, and will give you nice feedback. Yeah, these bikes really encourage you to the quite sport riding. So the question is, would I buy this bike? If I was on the market looking for kind of touring bike, ride the bikes, but distance commuting, riding with a passenger, this is a great option. This is, like, you know, in my opinion, very good option as one bike all around the bike. Because basically with the 9GT or GT Plus, you have all the bells and whistles. Nice equipped bike, which allows you quickly and relatively comfortable move from places A to B on your own or with a passenger. So this bike also comes with 6-axis IMU, so you have a cornering ABS, traction control, all that safety features which just quietly guide you and look after you. Like, for sure the MT-09 will be more lively bike compared to this one, even it's the same engine, same power, everything is pretty much the same, but don't forget, MT-09 is a smaller, lighter bike. Yeah, two big dislikes with this motorcycle is the screen and the seat, and maybe the central stand, which I always catching. So I remember when the Yamaha changed the platform from Tracer 900 to Tracer 9 and 9GT, I was quite fancy this bike to buy and have as a one bike, kind of all-rounder bike, because you have pretty much everything with this bike. You have a luggage, heated grips, cruise control. Even if you don't go for the 9GT Plus with the standard 9GT, maybe not standard, but with the 9GT, you have a loads of extras, and as a one main bike, all around the bike, you can do pretty much everything: traveling, commuting, riding solo, riding with the passenger. So I think it's still quite a good proposition from Yamaha. So we're just about to finish our test ride. Overall, very nice platform. I like that CP3 engine, CP2 also, sitting on the different various Yamaha motorcycles. There's no worry about the engine gearbox with Yamaha engines. Overall, the whole ergonomics are very nice. Of course, as every single bike, there's no perfect bike. You will have to accept the weak point of the motorcycle if you want to buy it, own it. Otherwise, you will never buy it. So, as a one bike, all-around bike, yes, nice sound. Maybe not the greatest, the best looking exhaust, but the sound is very nice, very pleasant. Lovely display. That's how this bike should come out straight away from the factory. We shouldn't have to be wait for the GT Plus version.